Good.
I wonder how you feel about visiting Korea after a long time.
Well, I was a bit nervous. This was my third time lucky in terms of booking flights and them not being cancelled and being able to get here because of COVID. So I just feel lucky to be here. Oh yeah, I was worried about forgetting the language, but my Korean skills are tiny, so I haven't forgotten that. One of the great things about coming to Korea is the food, but I've actually changed. About 2.5 years ago, I became vegetarian. So I was worried about doing lots of flights and it being bad for the environment. And I thought, well, maybe if I change to just eating vegetables, it'd be better for the environment. So sort of a balance. The only trouble is Korea is only catching up with vegetarians, so it's a somewhat limited, obviously, diet, but it's working, it's fine. Yeah, I was a bit worried about how Korea would have changed due to COVID, and actually the only real problem or real difference is that everyone wears masks everywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, before people wore masks in Korea, and if you're from Europe, that's really strange because before COVID, no one wore masks, and actually now everyone, well, nearly everyone in Europe has stopped wearing masks. So it is now that's the biggest difference between being back in England and here in Korea. So I have to keep remembering to put the mask on whenever I go inside buildings. But otherwise it's just great to be back. Okay, sure. Well, AI testing, I think, is one of the next big things that's going to hit the testing industry. And it's something that the AI practitioners don't really do very well. They're like developers and they don't understand testing. So it's going to become really important because AI in our world now is everywhere. Everyone who's got a phone can talk to the AI on their phone, so it's everywhere. And also, governments are spending trillions of won on AI. So it's really important that we build AI that people trust. If we don't test it properly, people won't trust it. And people will misuse it as well. So I think it's important that people can test AI well, professionally. And this training course, which it's actually, the training course is STATEB. I was one of the authors of the syllabus and we worked on that for about 18 months. And that syllabus was actually based on an ISO technical report, and that came from the working group I run in ISO. So it's all joined together, and we're actually in ISO now moving it forward and creating a next level of testing specification for testing AI systems. So it's important. The videoing is really interesting. I've never done such professional videoing before, and it's really fun. Yeah, well, it's the same for any young testers or maybe even older testers. I mean, the thing is to be curious. And I think in an ideal world, you have to understand the underlying technology. I mean, there are some testers who just like testing a black box and not understanding the architecture or the code, but I think to fully understand and fully test, you need to understand that technology as well. If you want to be better, the best testers are curious testers. They're people who are always looking for something new, who are always interested in what you're doing. If ever you're doing testing and you get bored, you're doing it wrong. Because when you're doing testing, you should always be looking for the unusual things, and that's a challenge, and it's an interesting challenge. So I think if you want to get better, stay curious and go that extra 10%. If you ever start getting bored, try looking for a job somewhere else.